إن الحمد لله نستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. أما بعد، أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم: وسارعوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم وجنة عرضها السماوات والأرض أعدت للمتقين الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين والذين إذا فعلوا فاحشة أو ظلموا أنفسهم ذكروا الله فاستغفروا لذنوبهم ومن يغفر الذنوب إلا الله ولم يصروا على ما فعلوا وهم يعلمون. أولئك جزاؤهم مغفرة من ربهم وجنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها ونعم أجر العاملين. وقال الله تعالى في مقام آخر: والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. صدق الله العظيم. Respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Alhamdulillah, Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala granted us an amazing opportunity today to meet here and remind ourselves with the course of action for the next 7 days. And that is what each Jum'ah is about. I recited for you some of the verses from Surah Al-Imran, verse number 133, 134, 135, and 136, and Surah Al-Asr. Everybody has memorized that, hopefully, the three small verses of that surah. These verses that I recited are profound in their message, especially the verses of Surah Al-Imran, where Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala invites you and me to rush, to hasten to the Jannah, to the garden. And what kind of a garden is that? Square footage of it. فَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ عَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ, whose square footage, whose size is the heavens and the earth. First, سَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ, race and rush and hasten towards forgiveness from your Lord, from your Rabb, from your ruler, from your owner, from your master. وَجَنَّةٍ, and towards the garden. Now Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala knows our tabi'ah. He knows what would tempt me and you. So first thing that is more important, that is maghfirah. And then secondly, as a result of that maghfirah, you and I, by Allah's will, get entitled to Jannah. And there Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala puts a condition as to for whom this Jannah is. Who is the eligible candidate for this Jannah? أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, that has been prepared for those who are conscious of Allah, for those who have taqwa in their lives, for those who call themselves or don't call themselves, but fulfill the criteria of a muttaqi. أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Now many a times, shaitan may confuse me or anyone amongst us that to be a muttaqi is a rocket science. To be a muttaqi is super hard and super challenging. To be a muttaqi, you have to be like Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. To be a muttaqi, you have to be like Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu. To be a muttaqi, you have to be like Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu. To be a muttaqi, you have to be like Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu. And the rest of the Sahaba radwanullahi alayhim ajma'in. However, then he says, after giving us examples of those Sahaba, this is what Shaitan often tempts us and says, that you cannot even be like the dust of their shoes, let alone being like them. As a result, you cannot be muttaqi. Now Allah Himself is explaining what a muttaq is like in Quran. And He says, who are those muttaqs? Who are the people of taqwa? الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ. Those who spend in times of ease and in times of hardships. الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ. Those who spend. And He's not pegging it with wealth. He's pegging it with spending, simple spending. So in times of ease and affluence, I know I can spend money. In times of, health, I know I could spend my energy. In times of time, when I have time, I can spend my time. When barra is mentioned, that is hardship. When I don't have anything to spend in, maybe I don't have enough wealth to spend through. Maybe I don't have enough health to spend through. Whatever I have to spend. That is the criteria number one, the litmus test number one for myself to start considering myself to be eligible for Allah's consideration of a muttaq. The second criteria, Allah is mentioning, وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظِ. Those who overcome their anger, those who swallow their anger. Now, that's an amazing word Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala is using here. The amazing thing is that Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala is using the word kazim. Kazim, kazama yakzimu kazman, it means to swallow. Allah did not say that those who don't get angry, for He has created you and me. And He knows very well that we will get angry because He has put this tendency inside us to get angry at things. Rather, Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala is saying that those who overcome their anger, those who control their anger, those who swallow their anger. For the word kazam yakzimu precisely means to swallow. So if I have a morsel of flesh in my mouth, if I am chewing a bite of food, you could see my cheeks moving and you could say I have something in my mouth. But the moment I swallow it, you can no way tell that I just chewed a bite, I had something in my mouth. And that is what Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala wants you and I to do in order to be eligible candidates for Jannah, controlling our anger. Point number two. Point number one, spending in times of hardship and ease. Point number two, controlling our anger, to be considered a muttaq. Point number three, وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ. And those who forgive people, who pardon people out of love. وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ. Afina is from afa, ya'fu. The same word we use over the last 10 nights, making dua to Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala, saying, Allahumma innaka afuwan tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni wal afina 'anil nas. Those who pardon people out of love. Those who pardon people. No strings attached. For you and I deserve to be forgiven by Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala. How is it that we are not willing to forgive His creation, yet we are candidates expecting His forgiveness? So a point to be noted here. So وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ. And then Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala mentions, وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Allah loves those who excel, who do ihsan, who do righteous deeds. For ihsan is excellence, who go out of the way to do the good things, to do hasanat, to pursue hasanat. وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Allah loves them. وَالَّذِينَ, Allah is still defining the muttaqs. Shaitan says that I cannot be a muttaq or you cannot be a muttaq because we are sinners. And muttaq means somebody who does not sin. Rather, this ayah says something on the contrary. Allah is still defining muttaqeen, saying, الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظِ وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا فَعَلُوا فَاحِشَةً أَوْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُم. Allah is saying, they're the ones when, Allah is not saying if, when they commit a fahishatan, they commit an immoral act, when something of this nature is done, is committed by them, وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا فَعَلُوا فَاحِشَةً أَوْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُم, or they wrong themselves. Zulm from the Quranic perspective is shirk. That's the greatest zulm. And zulm, wronging yourself, can be in any of its aspects. Perhaps missing a salah, not waking up in time for fajr, lying. All the sins you and I can be prey to. وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ فَاسْتَغْفَرُوا اللَّهَ وَذَكَرُوا اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا فَعَلُوا فَاحِشَةً أَوْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ ذَكَرُوا اللَّهَ. Immediately they remember Allah. There is nothing, there is no atf between, there is no connection word that Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala is using, that when they commit an immoral act or they wrong themselves, then they remember Allah. No. Immediately they remember Allah. Dhakarullah. And what do they do? How do they remember Allah? فَاسْتَغْفَرُوا لِذُنُوبِهِمْ. They seek forgiveness of their Lord. فَاسْتَغْفَرُوا لِذُنُوبِهِمْ, for the sins. وَمَنْ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Then Allah is reminding me and you, saying, who is going to forgive the sins except Allah? وَلَنْ يُصِرُّوا عَلَى مَا فَعَلُوا وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. And they do not persist on whatever they did, knowing, while they know, they do not persist in those wrong deeds. And then Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala is saying, أُولَٰئِكَ, those are the ones, جَزَاؤُهُمْ, whose reward is forgiveness. مَغْفِرَةٌ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ وَجَنَّاتٌ, whose reward is forgiveness from their Lord, from their Rabb, from their nurturer, from their master. And also garden, the dense garden, Jannah, paradises for them, or heavens are for them. And what kind of Jannah? What kind of paradise or heavens? تَجْرِي مِن تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارِ, flow beneath which the rivers. خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا, abiding therein forever, immortally. وَنِعْمَ أَجْرُ الْعَامِلِينَ, and how great is the reward of those who act. Now the beauty about this ayah is, this ayah or series of ayahs is sandwiched between the two mentions of Jannah. When I started reciting the ayah, it was سَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ عَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتِ. So Allah starts with our racing and hastening towards His forgiveness and Jannah. And what kind of a Jannah that is, He mentions that, and I spoke about that. And then towards the end, He caps the ayah and He puts a floor to the ayah with saying that those are the people, those muttaqs are the people who are candidates for Jannah, who are candidates for the heavens. And what kind of heavens? Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala has defined this at quite a few places in Quran. So, if we embody these symptoms, even if shaitan says, I cannot be a muttaqi, or you cannot be a muttaqi. However, if we embody symptom number one of spending in the path of Allah, firstly, wealth, then time, whatever we have of resources, whatever we have from rizq. Rizq is not mal faqat, it's not wealth only. Rizq is my health. Rizq is the time I have. Rizq is anything that I have in me that keeps me living. That's what rizq from Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala is. Spending in both hardship and ease. That is step number one, to be a muttaq. Step number two, controlling our anger. Step number three, forgiving people out of sheer love. We don't forgive people out of their love. We forgive people out of Allah's love. For we want ourselves to be forgiven by Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala as a result. So we forgive people. Spending, controlling anger, forgiving people. And then remembering Allah. As soon as the moment we sin, we immediately remember Allah and feel guilty. Dhakarullah. Right? We're not infallible. خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. Allah is interested in us seeking His forgiveness and repenting to Him for our sins. That is what makes Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala, more delighted when we turn to Him. So these are the few qualities, if we follow, if we embody in our lives, we can hope and pray that Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala will eventually consider us of the muttaqs, of those who have taqwa, of those who save themselves or who are worried about their akhirah. So, the profound nature of the message of these verses on the Sahaba was such that Sayyidina Hassan radiyallahu anhu had a servant serve him a drink. And while serving him a drink, the servant somehow tripped and the drink spilled over him. And the servant knew that I will be treated with anger. He sensed that his master, Hassan radiallahu anhu, would be angry. Immediately he recited these words. وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظِ. Hassan radiallahu anhu responded, كَظَمْتُ الْغَيْظِ. I swallowed my anger. وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ. He said, عَفَوْتُ عَنْكَ. I pardoned you. I forgave you. وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Allah loves those who excel. And then he said, I set you free. His slave was set free simply on the spur of the moment he heard these ayahs being recited. Not that this was the first time he was hearing these ayat, but the profound impact Quran has and had in Sahaba's lives. The influence of Quran, Kalamullah, acting straight to the heart. Is it acting on our hearts the way it acted on the Sahaba's heart? That is a question and food for thought for you and me this Friday. And then I recited Surah Al-Asr. And the ayah goes as Wal Asr. Allah is swearing by the fast passing time. Wal Asr. Innal insana lafi khusr. Certainly man is in definite loss. Illa alladhina amanu, except those who believe. Wa amilu salihat, and do righteous deeds. Wa tawasaw bil haqq, and they advise one another with truth. Wa tawasaw bil sabr. They advise one another with patience. This surah, my brothers and sisters, is a very powerful surah. Imam Shafi'i, rahmahullah, used to say about this surah that if no other portion of Quran was revealed, this surah would have been sufficient in summarizing the impact, the core message of Islam. So these are not the only two portions of Quran that I recited. Quran is an ocean, and Quran is an Arabic language. And Quran, my brothers and sisters, is a direct connection between me and my Rabb, between you and your Rabb. And 5 times a day, we recite at least some or the other portion of Quran. Many a times this happens that I enter the masjid, I enter the musalla as a musalli, and the imam starts reciting at Fajr. Kaf ha ya ayn sad. And I'm like, oh my God. I plan to take a short nap after Fajr, now it won't be possible. Because the length of Imam's recitation may not appeal to me. For I find solace in listening to Quran, yes, to some extent, but as long as I'm not understanding its meaning, I'm not getting what it is about, I'm not perhaps treating it as a kalamullah, it is a mere incantation that I hear on a day-to-day basis. And then I go back home, and the next day it is the same case. Then I go back home, and the next day it is the same case. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين واستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. يا ربي لك الحمد حتى ترضى ولك الحمد إذا رضيت ولك الحمد إذا ما رضيت ولك الحمد أبدا 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 إن الحمد لله. Alhamdulillah, we were speaking about the importance of understanding Quran and importance of connecting with Quran, bonding with Quran to the 5 daily prayers, to the 5 daily salahs that we offer. Salah is meant to be the fundamental most instrument of tarbiyah, the fundamental schooling for you and me on a day-to-day basis. And in that salah, we do certain actions. We recite certain portions of Quran. If I'm a Muslim, no matter if I speak French or Persian or Urdu or English or Spanish or Chinese, I have to offer my salah in Arabic. For salah is in Arabic and salah is mandatory. How can I leave myself with an option to choose whether or not to understand salah? So for this, my brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, Allah has granted us an opportunity. Tonight, at this masjid, inshallah, we have an orientation session of how we can learn Arabic naturally the way you and I learned. our mother tongues with ease so that our thinking develops in Arabic. But Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala has mentioned in Quran the relationship between the word Arabic and Quran at 11 different places. And one such verse is إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. Indeed, we have sent it down in Arabic Quran so that you may understand. عباد الله اتقوا رحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. So it is our dua that whatever we have heard, may Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala enable us to act on it. And may Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala forgive us for all our sins. May Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala forgive the deceased here. May Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala make us take a lesson from the deceased here, that our time is near. And may He make us from those who are muttaq. May He make us those who please Him each and every moment of this life. And may He take our souls at the moment when we are pleasing Him. Inshallah. Aqimus salah.